Volanguela o veteranu ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barong na Bula FM nambandu na seri.
Bula, alang gono ilutoka do talita ka Bula FM berarti nambandu na seri.
Ni Bula binaka nanreke ngosa Bula FM nga ena kasi.
Nalang gosa mundu achiwe na Bula FM nambandu na seri nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka nalang go Jerry yang melambasa do barong na Bula FM nambandu.
Bula FM nambandu na seri.
In the news tonight, Fijians still reeling from worst ever World Cup loss. Prime Minister Bainimarama calls out world leaders. And Lautoka spends thousands in garbage collection.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Questions are being asked of the Flying Fijians team following the 30-27 upset at the hands of Uruguay yesterday. Fiji needed to beat Uruguay to strengthen our chance for quarterfinals, but the drumming from Uruguay has many in doubt. Edwin Nund reports.
The best Fiji team ever to play at a World Cup taught a lesson in rugby by a team that we thrashed in one test match and two previous Rugby World Cups in 2015 and 1999.
Nothing went right for Fiji yesterday in that game against Uruguay. You know, they say Kamaishi is a place that in 2011, the tsunami, a lot of people died over there. There are memorials to the dead all around that place. Yesterday, a new tomb was erected there, and that is for Fiji.
Just the lack of communication. Not much communication going on the racks, and also the coach and the thing have to upgrade their systematic of forwards and backward.
They try really hard, but they should improve the defense and the combination.
They didn't work together as a team. I think communication-wise, 50-50 pass, the handling errors and all, they should cut down on their mistakes.
Fans have been left bitter and disappointed because a win against Uruguay was all but guaranteed. While reactions on the streets are measured, social media is buzzing. Some are calling for heads to roll.
We have world-class players. We expect those world-class players, professional players, to step up and perform every match. Swashbuckling performance against Australia, and then total turnaround against Uruguay. First upset of the World Cup. Didn't someone say Fiji would be creating upsets at the World Cup?
Emotions are high at the moment as Fijians grapple to come to terms with the loss, and not many are forgiving.
Back to the drawing board, man. They were all rattled.
I think the next game we have to put the team that was played on the second half to be played on the first half of the game.
In game, only one will win the game and one will lose the game.
Basic errors. You know, we tried to offload the ball every time, didn't have security of possession, handling errors were mounting. We couldn't kick goals from right in front.
Last night's game will go down in history as Fiji's worst performance on the international scene, a tale of shock and despair to be told and retold in years to come. The results for now have raised more questions than answers. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
Were there a lot of changes made to the Flying Fijians against Uruguay yesterday? Is the team unfit? Should the coach be blamed? These are some of the questions fans were asking today, but for former national coach Ilivasi Tambua, he says we can't undo what's done. Speaking from Australia to FBC Sports Today, Tambua says only key changes should have been made.
You know, for me, it was about knowing the scenarios and which teams that I had to get ahead in these two games, and the players that I had to play. You later realised that I changed that against Australia, having 11 changes, but establishing the first two games. You can't actually think about what had happened. You've got to think about what's in front of you, and that's Georgia against Wales. You know, what has happened has happened. You can't change it. What you want to change is what the outcomes that's ahead of you, which is Georgia. You got to put your best team in, and you got to play every game as if it's your last game.
Former Flying Fijians fly half Waisale Serevi, who represented Fiji at 3 World Cups, had a chat with the players yesterday after the loss and had this to say.
I told them the last thing is, remember, you are not only representing everybody in Fiji, you're representing your family. When you're tired, you need to push yourself. Remember your family, remember people that has helped you come this far.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama delivered a powerful address at the 74th United Nations General Assembly in New York, calling out world leaders for their climate inaction. And in no certain terms, Bainimarama told the General Assembly there is no other alternative into saving our islands, but to commit to net zero emission by 2050 and keeping the global average temperature at 1.5 degrees Celsius. Elinor Tarangaivu reports.
Delivering his national statement to the 74th UN General Assembly this morning, Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama called out world leaders who are still living in denial of the climate emergency before us and still cowering from the urgency to act now.
To those who did not come to New York this week with fresh plans to tackle the climate crisis, or who came merely out of curiosity to observe, again, please examine the evidence. Examine the facts. And for the sake of our children and our grandchildren, face up to your responsibility to lead.
Bainimarama says the increase of the global average sea level rise by 1.1 meters by 2100 is a new dimension of horror to the world and would mean a 10-centimeter increase from previous projections.
This is heartbreaking news for tens of thousands of Fijians in our coastal areas and all people in low-lying areas around the world.
Unyielding and staunch in his stand, Bainimarama stated defeat is not an option now, and in order to stave off the catastrophe before us, there is no alternative but to rapidly phase out coal to cap the average global temperature at 1.5 degrees or lower.
No more coal mines, no more coal-powered electricity, because unless we stop burning coal, we have no hope of achieving net zero emissions in 31 years' time.
He used the platform to call for unity amongst the leaders so they can fight this threat to our very survival.
The world must unite around our common interest to fight a more powerful enemy, a monster we created ourselves, a heating planet staggering under the excess of all who have taken its resilience for granted.
This revised national determined contribution in the new year. Elinor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Despite world leaders turning a blind eye on climate change, Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says Pacific leaders will do whatever they can for their people. Speaking in New York, Bainimarama admitted that the Pacific is still a long way away from being able to influence world leaders on this growing threat. Ali Kimbia with the story.
The danger of climate change is mounting, and the Fijian Prime Minister is disappointed that first world countries continue to ignore the problem.
I hoped, as we all did, that we could bring the world together to chart a course forward for our canoe that would ensure safe passage for our generation and generations to come.
Bainimarama is urging all Pacific Island countries to continue the fight.
Our chiller has been commandeered by nations and leaders who are either blind to the mounting danger or do not give it the importance it deserves, because they have yet to face the political imperative to act.
The Prime Minister stressed climate change is a full-blown crisis and a global emergency.
This week was our chance to grab back that tiller and put our canoe firmly back on course. But unfortunately, we are a long way from being able to influence many of our fellow voyagers about the direction we should be taking.
Our Prime Minister is championing the climate change with the other small island nations and says that everyone must unite behind the science of achieving net carbon emissions by 2050 so that the world can revert the catastrophe that looms. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
At least $310,000 is spent annually on garbage collection services by the Lautoka City Council. This was highlighted by Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar during the handover of a garbage truck from the Japanese government to the City Council today. Felipe Naikaso reports 80 tons of waste is generated in Lautoka on a daily basis.
This new 5-ton garbage truck has come at the right time as the waste collection in Lautoka has increased because of the inclusion of rural areas from late last year.
Lautoka City Council has been doing some marvelous work in the area of waste collection, and we need to encourage them to do more. And as I have said, the boundary has extended, and of course the work has increased too.
The priority for the city has also been to maintain a clean environment, particularly as Fiji continues to be at the forefront for the fight against climate change.
The government of Japan recognizes the extreme difficulties faced by Lautoka City Council in waste collection. With the provision of this new 5-ton garbage compactor truck, I am confident that it will help address the difficulties faced by Lautoka City Council.
It is important that we remember, no matter how many trucks we provide, no matter how many rubbish bins we provide in cities and towns, all this will not work if an individual do not change their behavior.
The cost of the new garbage truck donated is $220,000. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Up ahead, Municipal Council mergers expected. And Aspen Medical says big changes coming. Details after the break.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lautoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Certain municipal councils around the country will soon merge. While introducing the team of special administrators to look after the Lautoka and Ba municipal councils, the Minister for Local Government revealed other major changes expected. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
The merging of Lautoka City and Ba Town municipalities will be one of the main tasks for this team of special administrators.
This is being done with a purpose. The purpose is ultimately to merge these two municipalities. This is how things are done everywhere, because if we want to really reduce the administrative cost, this is what we have to do.
The team will ensure that their changes go through as municipalities around the country have not moved with time.
We have seen that over the years, we have really not been providing the level of service our ratepayers expect. Service does not mean that we just go and collect the garbage, clean the drain, sweep the street, and the service is done. In this day and age, we have to go beyond that.
The team of administrators for Lautoka and Ba are ready for the challenge that lies ahead.
There are some exciting times ahead and no doubt challenging for both Lautoka City and Ba Town. The board looks forward to being part of this progressive development phase, and we are committed to guiding and assisting the Lautoka City and Ba Town Council team accordingly.
Other members of the team for Lautoka and Ba include Renee Dungivalu, Dipti Sharma, Beatrice Nast and Rohit Sharma. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Of the 600 cases of cancer reported in Fiji every year, breast cancer is the most common. A great concern to doctors is that patients are late in presenting themselves at the hospital, and by then they can do very little to help them. Experts have time and again stressed that if detected early, cancer can be treated. 144 people died due to breast cancer in 2017, while 77 deaths were recorded last year.
The breast cancer is the commonest out of all the cancers. So that takes up a lot of our work. Most ladies would present in until it's already foul smelling, then they bring it to hospital because everybody's so. And the other ones that would come in is that because the cancer is actually spread right to the bones, and it's actually paralyzed them because it's actually eaten through the spine, and so their control for urine and toilet isn't there. Then they come to hospital asking us to do things we can't.
The 23-year Aspen Medical Pty Limited contract will mean interesting changes for our health system as it prepares for its transformation. Aspen Medical General Manager Annette Outram, while speaking to nurse graduates today, stressed that Aspen Medical aims to make most of the improvements within the next 3 years. Apinisa Wangarandovu reports.
The Australian-based company will be running the operation of the Lautoka and Ba hospitals by mid-2020.
This is about changing an entire health system and in changing how patients are cared for, how health professionals are trained, the equipment that we can now use. The hospitals will eventually, in the next 3 years, represent something not dissimilar to an Australian hospital.
One of the graduates today was a Lautoka midwife who received her degree and an Aspen Medical Overall Academic Excellence Award in Nursing Science, says she is looking forward to working with Aspen.
I believe I have set the standard not only for the nurses and the midwives here in Fiji, especially those in Lautoka. With the introduction of Aspen into our healthcare system, we can make a difference. I believe there's more out there that we can do as a team through education, through training, with the assistance of Aspen.
Over 18 nurses graduated from their Bachelor in Science today. Apinisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
Fijians are being reminded to take ownership of their health. Health Minister Dr. Feremi Wangainabete says during recent community visits, medical staff have highlighted the importance of hygiene and proper sanitation. The minister says simple discipline will help people avoid the risk of diseases.
One of the things that we've been doing is continuing the advocacy around public health, asking our people to be wary about communicable diseases such as typhoid, dengue, leptospirosis, TB. We're working very hard to try and reduce this. We hope to eradicate it, but also around non-communicable disease. So, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, and also, heart attacks.
And it's business time now with Koroi.
Thank you, Jackie. Coming up after the break, supermarkets still selling expired products. And in growing Fiji, $4 million utilized in rural water project. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number one.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और
Leading business tonight, the Consumer Council has noted that some supermarkets are still selling expired products, a complaint that tops its list. Chief Executive Seema Shandil says too often Fijians become victims of buying expired items that pose health risks. The Consumer Council surveillance officers are keeping a close watch on stores who may be selling expired products.
And we have also seen that sometimes what the traders do is they will stack the expired product with the products that has not already expired and put the item on sale. So what the consumers sometimes they are in rush. They'll go and they'll say, oh, this particular product is on sale, $3, $4, $5. So what they'll do, they'll quickly just put it in their trolley and they cash it out.
Some Fijians have also fallen victims of buying items on sale which are expired.
I have actually been a victim of this one. I bought packets of peanut ruffs that was on sale, and when I got home, then I realized that it has expired.
I spent this because it's like it's very important.
The council, in the meantime, is also educating Fijians about the Julian Code that will help them make better decisions.
It is a code that is used for the expiry dates. Why I'm saying it's new? Because our consumers don't know how to read Julian codes. It uses the number of days. Supposedly if it expires on 1st May 2016, so it will start from 01 to the number of days that leads to 1st May.
Shoppers are also urged to make wise decisions when shopping and are being reminded to keep receipts if they may want to seek redress. Fijian Holdings Limited has declared its second interim dividend of over $3.7 million based on the group's performance for the year ending 30th June 2019. The FHL shareholders will receive their dividend from 15th October. Group Chair Adrian Sawfield says the board and management continue to work together to provide best results and sustainable returns to its shareholders in terms of dividends and capital appreciation. Sawfield says the diversity of FHL portfolio has again proven its capacity to cushion the adverse effect in any one sector. Sinifa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest in the money world.
The US dollar found support today as investors welcomed US President Trump's hints of progress toward a trade deal with China and discounted the prospect of an impeachment probe making much headway. Reserve Bank of New Zealand Governor Adrian Orr today said it was unlikely the central bank would use unconventional monetary policy tools, although it was important to be prepared. Orr said the global low interest rate environment is raising new challenges at central banks. Many questions have been asked about the possibility of negative interest rates and alternative policy strategies. A few market-moving data releases are scheduled tomorrow, including U.S. advanced goods trade balance for August and their employment data. We'll wait and see how this impacts the Fiji dollar basket. That's all for now from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. It was a split day for the Fiji dollar on the world's money markets, with the Sanghamoli on the rise against the Australian and New Zealand dollars, as well as the euro and the yen. Looking at the commodities market, oil was down a few cents, but still above $56 per barrel. Gold plunked $25 to $1,508 per ounce, and silver closed up at $17.97 per ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, the Water Authority has spent over $4 million on rural water projects in Naitasiri province over the past 5 years. While commissioning the Nraulemba Settlement Rural Water Project, Infrastructure Minister Choni Usamate highlighted that 42 projects have been completed in the province. Usamate says 78% Fijians now have access to safe and clean drinking water, and they're on track to achieving the set target of 100% by 2030.
It is government's intent that no one is left behind. Government will not rest on its laurels until every single household has access to safe and clean drinking water. This is a path your government has pushed in the past years and also in this financial year.
That's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Naka Kuroi and good evening in Sports Tonight. Semi Kunatani recovers from injury. And Vika Matana gets Australian citizenship. Details after the break.
Natango Maria, maramani waya manatuya sawa, weti kitunde nandi ya undo marata kana baronga na Radio Fiji One.
Yao asna vatili, yao maga Monica. Tondo baronga vale bunar doma ibiti lambasa.
Bula natango aprosa ngarse, ngor kraki. Do televisione na baronga na Radio Fiji One, na doma ibiti.
Natango chani bukia, ongoni na mosi. Ando talita kana baronga na Radio Fiji One, na doma ibiti su.
Radio Fiji One, na doma ibiti.
Semi Kunatani is set to make his Rugby World Cup debut. Kunatani is expected to feature against Georgia next week, along with Pedeli Yato, as confirmed by head coach John McKee this afternoon. The national coach also highlights there were no injury concerns after the match against Uruguay yesterday.
Yeah, looking at some of the players who have been injured and looking to return for Georgia, certainly all reports on Semi Kunatani are very positive. He's looking to be back in the selection mix for Georgia. Pitheliato has been progressing with his head injury assessment return to play protocols and has been symptom free, so he will continue with non-contact training if he keeps progressing.
Too many errors and missed goal kicks. That's what cost the Flying Fijians the game against Uruguay, according to coach John McKee. The shock 27-30 loss to Uruguay in its second pool match at the Rugby World Cup has made our chances of reaching the quarters slim, but not impossible. Wallabies winger Reece Hodge has been suspended for 3 weeks for his dangerous tackle on Fijian flanker Pitheliato. England wing Joe the Kanasinger will be unleashed against the USA in his World Cup debut tonight. The Fiji Under-23 football team has secured a spot in the semi-finals of the OFC Men's Olympic qualifiers after a 3-1 win over Papua New Guinea yesterday. Fijian Commonwealth Games gold medalist Eileen Vikamatana is now an Australian citizen. Vikamatana received the Australian citizenship at a special ceremony held in Sydney earlier this month, following which the International Weightlifting Federation Executive Board held in Thailand gave her full clearance to represent Australia internationally. Vikamatana's decision to represent the green and gold followed a fallout with Weightlifting Fiji. Israel Folau's hopes of a return to International Rugby League with Tonga could be halted by the country's interim Prime Minister. Semisi Sika is reportedly demanding to have the current Tonga League board replaced, which is expected to end Folau's chances of playing in the test against Australia and Great Britain in the coming months. The prestigious Pineapple Cup bowling tournament will get underway this weekend. Supported by Kontiki Finance for another year, the tournament will be played in the men's and women's singles discipline at the Suva Bowling Club. Meanwhile, two-time men's champion Semesa Naiseruvati, who is gunning for a hat-trick this year, is encouraging more Fijians to take up the sport.
Bowling is not like rugby and soccer. You have to sweat, you have to bump onto each other, you have to, you don't even have a physical contact. And then you have a chance to represent Fiji in the world.
While we're still saddened, frustrated, or downhearted after the shock loss to Uruguay, we have to respect how much that win meant to the South Americans. It was only their third ever Rugby World Cup win and first since 2003. Here's a bit of their post-match celebration. While we're still saddened, frustrated, or downhearted after the shock loss to Uruguay, we have to respect how much that win meant to the South Americans. It was only their third ever Rugby World Cup win and first since 2003. That's it from sports and new media. After the break, take a look at Amazon's newest smart glasses. Details coming up.
रहता है। हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है। बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोते सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायकर गोंगवा लेबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Amazon just announced a new pair of Alexa-enabled smart eye glasses. Essentially, Alexa will activate whenever you call out to her, now on a pair of glasses that you can wear around town. Angie joins us now with the latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Sunshine graced Thursday with its presence. We all love it. Are you preparing for the upcoming weekend, hoping this, loved by all weather, stays put throughout? Well, just hoping for now. Now moving to the west, sunny spells are outstanding. I always talk about the lavish gardens, the seas and beaches. That's because the weather is always in favor here. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, afternoon turned cool, a cooler night in store, stay warm. And up north, the conditions are up on its game, little humid but bearable. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, low tide will be at 10:27 with high tide at 4:38. Sunrise will be at 5:52. For tomorrow, it's Friday. Let's get in the mood. The weather will be in our favor, so don't worry. Tomorrow's temps, the jet-set town Nandi will be warm out of all centers. It will hit 33 degrees, so step out with your sunscreens on. And looking further on to Saturday, there's a mention of rain, but nothing intense. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, where did the Flying Fijians go wrong in the game against Uruguay yesterday?
The coach should be blamed. It's a wrong lineup.
They were overconfident they're gonna beat. Likely they look further to Wales and Australia. They don't count Uruguay.
We should continue to support them despite the loss yesterday.
I noticed the boys took the game lightly, and secondly, the coach underestimated Uruguay.
Well, poor performance. They should change the coach now. It's high time.
It was a good game. I think the coach gambled with his lineup. The key players who played against Australia were rested, and they should have played.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, take a look at this gold-plated yacht. It'll make your mouth water and your wallet cry. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Fijians still reeling from worst ever World Cup loss. Prime Minister calls out world leaders. And Lautoka spends thousands in garbage collection. For these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking, should match officials who make blunders at Rugby World Cup be severely reprimanded? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, here's something that might cheer you up after yesterday's heartbreaking loss. The sign outside a supermarket, bar businesses taking their public places very seriously. Taken by Luciana Momo. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, via Twitter page at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Form. I studied Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Osnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makereta from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lautoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.